I want to expand this conversation on PCOS again. Um, if someone comes up to you with PCOS and they sent to you by a gynecologist saying that you have to actually correct your diet, what are common mistakes you see in their diet before they come to you? And is the treatment the same in most cases or is it different?
So, what mistakes I see that, like back in the day, say 2005, 6, those days the girls were extremely sedentary. They would not exercise. And that's why they were putting on weight and they were taking junk food. So, no balance of fat and too much of carbs and excess bad quality fat and sugars. But nowadays, it's not that the girls are going towards that kind of food and they're not active. They're actually really doing a lot of exercise also at the same time.
Even teenagers?
Yeah. Everyone is quite pumped about exercise. They have
Wow.
I would say a good 50 to 60% are quite aware and they are managing the exercise. But the problem is that they don't have the balance of exercise also. So what we do for PCOS, the first and foremost, most important thing is weight loss. Okay. So 80 to 90, today only we had a girl coming in who had PCOS, and she knows that when she is her ideal body weight, which is around 50 to 53, all her PCOS symptoms goes away, which is hirsutism, which is hair and the pigmentation and irregular periods and blah blah. So all that corrects as soon as you reach your ideal body weight. So my job is to make sure we bring them to their good weight, and at the same time give a sound diet, and at the same time give them a good exercise pattern. So because they're so pumped and they know about weight training and Pilates and yoga and kickboxing, so they are only doing muscle building and stretching kind of exercise. They're not concentrating on low impact cardio. So we have to balance that. That's the common mistake they are making. And of course, many of them turn vegan. So we tell them, no, we need good quality fat also at the same time, which comes from oil and nuts, but at the same time, very little amount of cholesterol. So we balance their diet. So the common mistake they would be making is that they are still very, very fond of chocolates. So bringing their desserts and after Swiggy and Zomato, like, okay, I want to have this ice cream, immediately order. It can come at 1 o'clock anytime, right? So that is a challenge. They and all sleep late. Sleep is a major issue in the teenagers I'm seeing nowadays, which is actually causing all that hormone related issues. Because I don't understand that they think if they sleep at 11, they are doing a crime. Haven't you heard this?
I don't want to say anything.
Yeah. So kids, their development is happening. They need their REM sleep. They need their deep sleep. How will the deep sleep happen if they're going to sleep only at 2, 3? Yeah. So if the deep sleep is not happened, that means their body is not rested. How, if the body is not rested, how the good hormones are going to be produced? How will the body repair itself? You tell me. So that is another common mistake I'm finding, the sleep deprivation. Because they're awake till so late, they also munch rubbish at night. So these are the common problems I'm seeing. So, but we have to really tell them that you need to get more responsible towards your life. You're like, you're no more like, you need to be sleeping because you are a student. You need to study. You need to grow. You need to have a stronger body. It's not always all about academics. So all these are also, you're responsible for your own body also. Yeah, then it's a whole 360-degree approach towards oneself.